Fox Sports.
We are Baltimore. We are Detroit.
Tigers baseball on Fox Sports Detroit is presented by
Bell Tire.
Well, it did not take long for J.D. Martinez to announce his presence. A base hit in his first game back, and then 2 homers yesterday, including the game winner in the 9th inning. Good to see Martinez back as we welcome you to the Big A. Final game of this series featuring the Detroit Tigers and the Los Angeles Angels. Hi again, everyone, and welcome to Tigers Baseball. Mario and Pemba, Rod Allen, glad to have you with us, and happy Mother's Day to all of our Tigers moms out there. And Rod, I know this is a great day to give our moms thanks.
First of all, I'd like to wish my wife, my beautiful wife, a happy Mother's Day, Adrian. She's in New York with my lovely daughter. And I'm actually going to get a chance to do something I have not had a chance to do since I've been in Pro Ball, and that's spend Mother's Day with my mother.
Good for you.
40 years I have not been able to spend that with her. I get a chance today.
All right, and for me, my mom, Rose, and wife, Kathy, happy Mother's Day to you, too, as well. J.D. Martinez, we found out last night how much we really miss his bat.
Well, this guy's a dominant player. With that much we do know. And what he's able to do from the 7th inning on in heroics have been spectacular. And he was able to do that last night. And boy, did the Tigers miss him. This lineup should get hot the remainder of the way.
All right, Game 3, make it Game 4 in this series coming up. Series finale just minutes away. But right now we send you back to the Call Sam Studios and Matt Shepard. We wish you a happy Mother's Day here this afternoon, and the Tigers taking on the Los Angeles Angels here in the fourth and final game of this series. On a gorgeous afternoon for baseball here, the starting lineup presented by the Southeast Michigan Ford dealers. The Tigers will line them up like this here this afternoon. It'll be Ian Kinsler leading it off, then Nick Castellanos and Miguel Cabrera. The Tigers then have Victor, Upton, and J.D. Martinez, and a bottom three of McCann, Romine, and Machado in the lineup this afternoon for the Tigers. Ian Kinsler getting set to settle into the box. And they are facing Alex Meyer, the tall right-hander for the Angels. A victory here today. The Tigers win 3 out of 4 in this series, and then fly back home after the ball game tonight. Here's the motion of the first pitch, and Kinsler looks at ball one high.
Yeah, the Tigers have a couple of players on their team that have done pretty well on Mother's Day, and Ian Kinsler would be one of those. Ian batting .314 on Mom's Day with a couple of homers.
Kinsler sends one to left field. That ball is going to get down and go up against and over the wall.
Right on cue.
It'll be a ground rule double for Ian Kinsler, and a good start to this one for the Tigers today. Leadoff two-bagger.
Yeah, Ian Kinsler jumps on the fastball from Meyer. One thing about Meyer, he throws hard, but he's erratic, so he's always going to have the Tigers in friendly fastball counts, and we do know the Tigers are an outstanding fastball hitting team.
That'll bring up Nick Castellanos in the 2 slot again today. Nick in the series 1 for 12, trying to bust out of it this afternoon. And he'll miss high and inside, Will Meyer. He is presented today by Jeff Glover and Associates Realtors.
Hard thrower, and that fastball gets all the way up to 98 miles an hour. That would be Meyer's fastball. He also has a slider and a curveball. He walked 5 in his last outing. The Tigers are aware of that. They're going to make him throw the ball over the plate this afternoon.
Ball 2 inside on Castellanos.
Golden scoring opportunity here in the very first inning for the Tigers, especially with their ace on the mound, Justin Verlander. And if they win today, they go home with a better than 500 road trip, which would be outstanding on the West Coast.
Tigers dropped 2 out of 3 in Oakland, split in Arizona, and have won 2 out of 3 so far here against the Angels. Castellanos looks at a strike at the inside part of the plate, 2-1. Nick trying to snap an 0 for 11 right now. Average at .234. Here's the 2-1 pitch. Line to the right side, off the glove of the second baseman Espinosa into right field. Here comes Kinsler. He'll come around to score, and that is an RBI single for Nick Castellanos.
That's how you play situational baseball. With a runner on second base and nobody out, you can visibly see that Castellanos, even though the count was 2-1, he was trying to hit something the opposite way, and he about undressed their second baseman Espinosa with a rocket right past him. And not only does he get rewarded and by getting himself a base hit, he also gets himself an RBI, and the Tigers are on the board first this afternoon.
2 batters into the game. It's 1-0 Detroit. Castellanos is 22nd RBI. That'll bring up Miguel Cabrera. Miggy at .247 right now, 4 home runs. He'll drive that one foul back out of play. They, for the most part, have been able to handle Cabrera in this series. 2 for 13 for the big guy.
He's due to bust out this afternoon. Not too many times do you say Miguel's been handled by a team in a 3-game, 4-game series. He usually picks one day to get loose. Today could be that day.
Castellanos draws a throw down there at first base.
Meyer is a big kid, 6 feet 9 inches, so you would expect that he probably would not have a very quick move over to first base. Therefore, the Tigers might try to run this afternoon with a couple of guys that have speed.
Meyer is out of Greensburg, Indiana. And Cabrera fouls it back out of play.
And let's take a look at the Los Angeles Angels defensive alignment. It's presented by Tim Hortons. Revere, Maben, Calhoun in the outfield. Simmons, Espinosa up the middle. They've got Valbuena at third, and they have Crone at first.
The 0-2. Miggy swings and strikes out, and down he goes. One away. First strikeout of the ball game for Meyer.
Yeah, pretty good breaking ball here thrown by Meyer. He gets up to about 98 with the fastball, but he throws Miguel Cabrera an outstanding breaking ball that he locates beautifully and down and away from the Tiger slugger.
Here is Victor Martinez batting .270. He's 4 for 12 in this series, and Victor has had himself a pretty good road trip. 10 hits on this trip. He only had one pinch hitting appearance in the National League Park in Arizona. And a swing and a high drive in the air to right field. Cole Calhoun is cruising under it, and there are two gone. Now Justin Upton. Tigers scored first on a double by Kinsler, a single by Castellanos. Jay Up, the son of Ivan.
I had a chance to speak to Ivan this morning. I walked by Justin, and he was FaceTiming his mother on his phone.
Is that right?
And he was saying Happy Mother's Day to her, and then he turned the phone to me, and I had a chance to say Happy Mother's Day to her as well.
No, I thought you photobombed her.
No, I wouldn't do that.
It was legit, huh?
It was legit.
Well, Jay Up with a 6-game streak. This is where he's been pretty good this year. 12 two-out RBIs for Upton.
I just love the way that Jay Up's been spinning that ball off his bat. His launch angle's been really good lately. Lots of majestic home runs for Jay Up.
1 ball and no strikes on Upton.
And some of the Tigers that don't normally wear their pants up high and making a fashion statement today, wanting to show off their Mother's Day socks, I guess, partner.
Yeah, can't blame them. Both teams wearing pink yesterday and today. There's a strike on the outer edge. 1-1 on Upton. There's some of the pink.
Yep, everybody all decked out in some sort of a pink, one way or another.
The players all have their personalized shoes, but the pink bats being used today. Meyer ready with the 1-1. Strike called. Up with the right hand goes Marty Foster. 1-2. Meyer is an interesting guy. I mean, you mentioned he's 6 feet 9 inches tall. Was originally a #1 pick. First rounder by the Nationals, then traded to the Minnesota Twins.
You can see why. He's got length. He's got a lot of arm strength. He just hasn't figured it out yet at age 27. Yeah, but sometimes the light comes on a little bit later for others. They mature at a later age in the big leagues.
Well, I also wonder about a guy that's 6'9" and his ability to repeat his delivery. It's got to be a little bit more difficult.
I was talking to Mark Langston, who does the radio for the Angels and was an outstanding left-handed pitcher. He told me he would like to see.
Nick going to be picked off.
I'll get to it later.
So the inning is over. Tigers will settle for 1. They do it on 2 hits. We go to the bottom of the first. the first inning, and so Justin Verlander will take the hill with a little bit of an advantage here. He is presented by Family Heating, Cooling, and Electrical.
And Tigers trying to do something here out west in Anaheim they haven't done since 2009, and that's win a series, and they'll lean on the right arm of Justin Verlander. 4.25 ERA for the ace, 3-2 overall record for Verlander.
Ben Revere will stand in to get things started here for the Angels. JV in search of his 4th win of the season. Revere will lead things off.
Revere has speed, so Justin Verlander needs to keep him off the base paths. Yunel Escobar had led off the first 3 games of the series, but he slightly pulled a hamstring in last night's game.
A former Minnesota Twin looks at a strike 0-1.
And Verlander's average fastball these days is averaging 95 miles an hour. He can get all the way up to 99 if he needs to. He's got the plus breaking ball. That would be the curve and the slider. He'll also fade the changeup away from the left-handers, and Verlander also is throwing a cut fastball these days. So Verlander basically has 5 really good pitches.
Here's the 1-1 from Justin. Pulled on the ground to first, right at Cabrera. Revere is out. 1 gone. The rest of the lineup for the Halos today, presented by your Metro Detroit Chevy dealers. And for the Angels, you saw Revere, Simmons, and Trout to follow. Then Valbuena, Calhoun, and Crone in the middle of their lineup. C.J. Crone coming off the DL. Maben, Espinosa, and Gratterall wrap it up in the starting 9 for Mike Scioscia.
No Albert Pujols this afternoon. At least it's the start of this contest. Mike Scioscia likes to give his veteran and DH first baseman the day off, especially after night games.
There's a swing and a foul back. I got word on Pujols actually, Rod, before the game. He is away for personal reasons.
Oh, okay.
So he's not available today for the Halos. And that is a gargantuan bat out of their lineup, which I'm sure will not bother Justin Verlander one
Not
bit.
at all. But it is customary for Scioscia to rest him in these type of situations.
Simmons is the batter. Little chopper left side of the infield. Nick on the run. Couple of ground ball outs, 2 away.
It's always exciting when you have a guy that's won a Cy Young and an MVP going up against a former MVP winner as well in Trout. And Verlander, for the most part, has had Trout's number. And pitch by pitch last year, everything down and away for the most part. Breaking ball, breaking ball, breaking ball. Then he freezes Michael with a fastball upstairs at 96 miles an hour for the strikeout.
That'll bring us to the Bernstein advantage. Justin Verlander against Mike Trout. How about Trout 1 for 15 against JV?
Told you last night that Mike Trout in the last couple of years has really started to swing at the first pitch of an at-bat and has had a lot of success. Mike tried to do that against Justin since he really hasn't done anything against JV.
He looks at a strike on the outer edge. 0-1 on Trout. Couple of home runs in the series. Games 2 and game 3. Yesterday hit one late to tie it up for the Tigers. One on the JD home run in the 9th. 1 ball, 1 strike. Classic matchup here. And Trout sends it high in the air and deep to left field, way back and gone. A long home run for Mike Trout, his 3rd of the series.
And that ball appeared to be sitting on a tee for Trout. Ended up right down the middle. It was a breaking ball at 90 miles an hour. Actually a cut fastball that Mike Trout absolutely destroyed. That is the first homer that Verlander has given up in his last 4 games. So he's been keeping the ball in the ballpark.
That is the 11th home run of the year for Trout. who came into the series with a 17-game hitting streak. It was snapped in the first game.
Trout has a legitimate chance of being the next big league player to go 40-40 in the majors. He has that kind of skill set if he ever decides to run as much as he wants to. He can hit 40 homers, no doubt.
Valbuena shoots it out to left, and Upton runs it down to end the inning. Angels tied up on the Mike Trout home run. And the Angels able to tie it on the Trout home run. Now Meyer back to the hill facing Upton, Martinez, McCann. Final game of the road trip for the Tigers. J-Up was at the plate when Castellanos was picked off.
Road trip seems to get a lot longer when the final leg of the trip is a 4-game series.
Upton pops up the first pitch. First base side, and Crone will haul it in. 1 pitch, 1 out. Well, Menards brings you the big money encounter, and when you talk about J.D. Martinez from the 7th inning and beyond, he has had a lot of magic in that bat.
He's clutch. And no question about that, really, since he's put on a Tigers uniform.
Martinez with a pair of homers last night, 2-run shot in the second, and the game winner in the 9th. The game winner went over that tall wall in right field. Meyer delivers low and away, 1-0.
And JD was somewhat clutch when he was playing for the Astros, but since he's become a Tiger in retooling his swing, his game has gone to a whole nother level.
Good pitch on the outer edge. 1 ball, 1 strike.
A couple of days ago, Brad was commenting about he didn't know how much he'd be able to play J.D. Martinez coming off the injury to the right foot, but this is now 3 days in a row for the right fielder.
Hard hit ball to the shortstop, knocked down by Simmons, has time, and got him by half a step. 2 gone.
It's a nice job here by Simmons. Ball hit sharply off the bat of Martinez. He doesn't panic. He goes over, he barehands it, and he fires a strike across the diamond with a very nice stretch by C.J. Crone, the first baseman.
Here's McCann with 2 outs. So Meyer now has retired 4 straight since the Castellanos RBI single. James 3 for 8 in the series. In there, a strike called, 0-1.
Finish that comment on what Mark Langston was telling me, the radio analyst for the Angels. He was saying he'd like to see Meyer on the third base side of the rubber with that wingspan, and he stands 6 feet 9 inches. Can you imagine right-handers trying to hit off of him? It would look like he's throwing the ball from behind him, is what he was saying.
Yeah, that'd be somewhat scary, I would think.
And especially with his wildness, too. I
Yeah.
mean, that would be a very uncomfortable at bat. But he stands right now on the first base side of the rubber, so hitters get a pretty good look at him. Right-handers do a very good job against him. Right-handers should not have the kind of success against him that they have.
Mark Langston, really good left-handed pitcher in his day. Seattle, the Angels.
He had that high leg kick, power fastball with a real knee-buckling curveball.
0-2 on McCann. James on the road trip with 6 hits. Romine will bat next if McCann reaches. Tigers have Romine in center. Machado getting the start at short today. Iglesias the afternoon off. You were talking about 4-game series, and it's just you don't play a lot of them. So when you do, especially as you mentioned at the end of a road trip, it's really taxing. And he just missed.
98.
Angels are hoping Meyer can finally develop the way a couple of other teams thought he would. Nationals, who drafted him, and then the Twins. Swing and a miss, and down he goes. Strikeout McCann, the second of the game for Meyer.
Love you. Mom, I want to wish you a happy Mother's Day. I love you, and I thank God every day for you.
Happy Mother's Day, Mom. I love you.
And a happy Mother's Day to all of the Tigers moms out there. Got a spectacular day here at Anaheim for the series finale. JV goes back to work, and Cole Calhoun swings and misses.
And that was Daniel saying hello and happy Mother's Day to his mom, Sandra, Alex, Yamil. And Justin Verlander also said happy Mother's Day to his mom, Kathy. We got the names up here this year.
Yeah, we got a nice long list of the players' moms' names, which really helps us out. Calhoun now behind the count 0-2.
I'm sure they're all tuned in.
Calhoun 2 out of 10 in the series, batting .231 for the year. Infield playing to pull on the left-handed batter.
You know, we talk a lot about Justin Verlander and the fact that he does have 4 above-average pitches. That would be the curveball, the slider, and the changeup. But really, where his bread is buttered is with that heater. Now, that fastball, 95 and above. And really, since the All-Star break last year, he's just dominated hitters with the fastball.
Verlander last start against Arizona went 6, allowing 7 hits, 3 runs.
That Arizona team is a pretty good offensive team, very taxing in that particular ballpark.
And Calhoun down on strikes. 1 gone. Here are the field conditions presented by Ace Hardware and the Scotts Company. 69 degrees in game time. Few clouds in the sky, but otherwise a lot of sunshine here at the Big A. Justin Verlander has his first strikeout. He's going to bring up C.J. Cron. Cron off the disabled list with a bruised foot. Looks at ball 1. By the way, with that strikeout of Calhoun, JV now has struck out at least 1 batter in 323 consecutive games.
Whoa.
Every start since May 4th of 07. It's the longest among actives. Here's a strike on Cron. Well, you figure, okay, 1 strikeout for JV, that's no big deal, but I mean, that's over 300 starts where he wasn't knocked out early. Or
exactly. I mean, you're due to have 1 bad game, you know what I mean, where you only last a couple of innings, but not Verlander.
Swing and a miss by Cron.
Now, there's that fastball, and that Verlander has basically just thrown by some of the best hitters in baseball. 4-seam fastball, 95 and above, and teams have a very difficult time of hitting it, especially when it's above the belt buckle.
Michael Fulmer watching from the bench here today. He was fabulous in his last start.
Yeah, he pitches just like Verlander, and on many nights sometimes better.
3 hits in 7 innings and 7 strikeouts. Only 1 run allowed by Fulmer. Tigers won the opener.
It was good to have him in the opener, to come in here and pitch the way that he did, for the Tigers to exercise some demons that they've had in this particular ballpark, not being able to beat the Angels.
They came into the series having lost 17 of the last 20 they played here. But a chance today with Verlander on the mound to win 3 out of 4 and go home with some smiles on their faces.
Happy flight.
Swing and a miss, and Cron is out of there. 2 strikeouts in the inning now for JV.
And that pitch right there at 91 miles an hour. Verlander calls it a slider, but take a look at the pitch. It really has no depth to it. It's pretty much east to west in the strike zone, which tells me that's a cut fastball, not necessarily a slider. His slider is usually about 85 to 86 miles an hour. You can see some downward action on that pitch away from the right-handed batters.
Here's Cameron Maybin. You really can't eliminate anything with Verlander when you face him.
No, you can't. I mean, because he could use any one of those pitches at any point in time, which makes him so special. If he doesn't have the curveball, he can go to the slider. If he doesn't have those 2 breaking pitches, he could bring out the changeup. And then we just witnessed him punching out Cron on a cut fastball at 91 miles an hour.
That last one got McCann.
Marty Foster, the home plate umpire, giving him a little extra time.
The umpire's getting in the act as well with the pink mask. Very nice.
Some sweatbands on and everything.
Maybin is 0 for 10 in the series. He's had only a couple of instances in which he's gotten on base. He has 1 walk. And Cameron off to a slow start in his new uniform, a 187 average coming in.
The umpires really get into all the special days. They wear number 42 on Jackie Robinson Day, just like all the players do.
Yeah, well, they're on the field, might as well. 1-2 on Maben.
It was Mother's Day last year when Verlander first started wearing his pants where they are right now. He was struggling before that point to a certain degree, and all of a sudden he pulled the pants up on that particular Sunday, and his entire season turned around and nearly won a Cy Young.
Well, now logic tells you that had nothing to do with the numbers, but if you ask Verlander, I'll bet he'll tell you differently.
In his mind,
yeah.
Because he has not worn his pants down since that day.
The superstitions of the great game of baseball. 2-2 is high, 3-2 now on Cameron Maben. Should Maben reach, Danny Espinosa waiting on deck. And Maben takes high. That'll be a 2-out-1. Another base runner for the Angels. It'll bring up Espinosa. Espinosa's had a horrific start for the Angels. Had his long hitless streak of 0 for 36 snapped last night. Batting just 142.
Well, you know, when there's a guy on first base that can run, Verlander's going to throw over there a couple of times. He's already thrown to first base 49 times this year. That would be number 50, far more than any other pitcher in the majors.
JV's always had those quick feet, the ability to pick people off. Runner goes. Here comes the throw from McCann. Tag, not in time. Good jump by Maben. He is in scoring position.
And Cam Maben not necessarily swinging the bat all that effectively, but once he got on first base going up against his former team, he got a great jump, even though McCann has a cannon for an arm, but that ball sailed on Machado. Machado had to reach into the baseline, and by the time he applied the tag to the back of Maben, Maben had that left hand in there safely.
Now Espinosa with an RBI chance. Swing and a miss.
Espinosa hit a lot of home runs and when he was playing for the Washington Nationals, and also drove in a lot of runs, but off to a very slow start with his new squad.
His 2 base hit snapped his long hitless streak in last night's game. 7 years with the Washington Nationals. High and away, 1-2. Tigers haven't played a pull on the infield. Ball high. JV stayed up top. Espinosa would not bite. 2-2 the count. Tigers got a run in the first, and the Angels answered on the Trout home run. Castellanos an RBI single for the Tigers. Fouled away.
Here's what Verlander has done since
Mother's Day of 2016. 17-8 with a 2.75 ERA. The whip sits right at 1, which is tremendous. And the opponent's batting average is 202. So he probably not going to pull those pants down anytime soon.
That's ball 3 down low, and now he's gone full after getting ahead of Espinosa. Number 9 hitter Juan Gratterall waiting on deck. Here's the 3-2. Low ball 4. That is back-to-back walks now after a pair of strikeouts here in the second. 2 on with 2 outs. 33 now for Verlander. Ratio not all that good right now at 19 against 14.
And Verlander cannot forget about Cam Maben at second base. He's already stolen second. Cam will steal third if you give him an opportunity. But one of the things the Tigers pitchers have started to do, and they've been encouraged to do it by their manager Brad, and that's to use a little spin move and to make sure that the guy on second base, the base runner, doesn't get too good a jump.
Strike 1 to Gratterall in the outside part of the plate. The walks are up a little bit for Verlander. He's had a 6-walk game this year, and he's walked 7 in the last 2 starts combined.
Yeah, that 6-walk game he had, that was one off of his career high, and back when he was a rookie in 2006.
That'll seal inside. 1-1 on Juan Gratterall.
And Brad made the comment that in Arizona, Verlander really had no feel for his curveball. He has not had a great feel for that pitch as of yet here today as well.
Two on, 2 out in the second. 1-1 ball game. Swing and a miss. You know, the life of a big league player can be pretty good. Most of the time it is. It's outstanding. But if you want Gratterall, he's been claimed off the waiver wire since November now. This is since November by Arizona, Cincinnati, Toronto, and the Angels twice.
I saw that. That's crazy.
That never really happened.
He's got a ton of suitcases.
He does. A lot of stickers on.
And you know what else it says? It speaks volumes for his ability to call a game and to throw.
Runners go and a foul back.
I knew Cam Maben would be on the move at some point in time. Claimed off waivers that many times in a span of 5 months.
5 times. Twice by the Angels. Now, for a guy like Gratterall, I don't think he minds all that much because he's had 12 years in the minors.
He don't care.
Nope. Doesn't matter what uniform you're wearing. He's got a big league chance.
Here's where Verlander has been very tough. And not only last year, but this year. Runners in scoring position. He usually reaches back to get a little extra. And at times he'll get up to 97, 98 if he decides to throw a fastball. But Gratterall probably can't hit that breaking ball either. Everything that Verlander has thrown to him has pretty much been away from him. And whether it be the fastball, the cutter, or the slider.
One and 2 on Juan Gratterall. Angels threatening here with a pair of 2-out walks. Runners go again, and a line drive caught by the shortstop Machado. Hit it right at him. No runs, 2 walks, 2 men left.
Stadium. Happy to be joined on Mother's Day by Andrew's mom, June. What kind of a kid was he growing up?
It's Mother's Day. I have to be nice, right? He was a good kid. He's still a really good kid. He was a good boy.
When did you know he had the stuff, as his dad did, to do this professionally?
Well, his dad would tell you when he was 2. I would say probably around age 10 or 11. It was obvious he was going to pursue it. To be honest with you, I thought he was going to be a professional soccer player. But he followed in his dad's footsteps. And
did he tell you that he got most of him from you?
He didn't tell me that, but I'm glad to hear it.
How does that make you feel?
Makes me feel proud. I'm glad he's grown up to be a good man, first and foremost, and I'm very proud of him.
I said to him, well, you're the favorite of the family, right? And he said, well, I had the last home run, so yes, I'm the favorite. His brother Austin, of course, plays for the New York Yankees. Yes. So the sense of humor in the Romine family is very important.
Yes, it is. To survive a day with baseball players, yes.
How are you to watch a game, even as we're watching Andrews at bat here? Are you nervous? Do you cringe?
Well, it depends on who's pitching. But for the most part, Andrew's pretty calm and cool. Even when he's got 2 strikes on him, he knows how to stay in there and play the game as he flies out the center field.
That one didn't end so well for him, but there will be another at bat coming up. Happy Mother's Day, June. We appreciate you joining us. Mario, Rod.
All right, Keats, thanks. Well, the Romine family, as Keats mentioned, very athletic. Of course, Kevin, his dad, played in the big leagues. Austin plays for the Yankees. Andrew for the Tigers.
And it sounds like Mom could do a little play-by-play if she wanted to. She called that fly out to left.
Now, apparently, Andrew was a pretty good soccer player growing up.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah, Mom thought he could play professionally.
I can see Andrew with some very quick feet. He plays that shortstop position. He plays every position on the field. We've watched him patrol center field as well. I can see some quick feet from Andrew. We know he's competitive as well.
Dixon Machado playing short today. He'll bat here with 1 out in the 3rd. Ball high to Machado.
It's the 3rd time that Dixon's gotten a start on the 9-game road trip, which is good to see because a player like him, a young player, you waste yourself away by sitting on the bench in the big leagues. Usually that's a role reserved for an older player.
Dixon made his Tigers debut a couple of years ago in the 2015 campaign. And now Meyer missing again, and he's gone to 3-0 on the number 9 hitter.
If the Tigers just wait Meyer out, he'll walk a few. And we told you that he walked 5 in his last outing against the Athletics.
That's what we talked about a little bit earlier, the inability to repeat his mechanics and have those bouts of wildness. 1-on-1. By the way, if the Tigers combine for 3 or more home runs in this game, bring a copy of the box score to a participating Arby's location tomorrow, and a free small order of curly fries will be yours.
You bring up a great point regarding Meyer and the fact that it's so difficult for him to repeat his delivery because he stands 6 feet 9 inches. That was true for Randy Johnson as well early in his career. The big unit had a difficult time repeating his delivery. And then something finally clicked, and of course Randy Johnson went on to win a bunch of Cy Youngs, and now he's in the Hall of Fame.
Ian Kinsler takes a strike in the outside corner. Ian had a double to start the game, scored on the Castellanos single. Trout is homered for the Angels. 1-1 is our score as we play in the 3rd. Machado has not stolen a base to this point. The 0-1. Nice stop by Gratterall there. 1 ball and 1 strike on Kinsler. Ian scored his 23rd run back in the 1st inning, 23rd of the season, which is good for top 10 in the American League, good for 8th. And while the average has been low this year in the 200s, low 200s, a lot of the month of May, he still continues to get on and scores runs. Fouled away, and it's 1-2 on Kinsler. Meyer was acquired from the Twins last August in the Ricky Nolasco deal. They got Nolasco as well, gave up Hector Santiago. Tyler Skaggs on the disabled list, so he's filling in right now. The Angels have had a ton of injuries to the rotation. Oh, what a pick there, and now they got the runner Machado at second, got him there. Man, Gratterall with a great backhanded pick. Machado tried to get to second.
It's kind of hard to fault Machado for this, because usually when a ball bounces 6 feet in front of home plate, it's a breaking ball. You read it as a player. And as soon as that ball went down, he took off, and lucky. And for Gratterall, he was able to pick that ball cleanly, and which allowed him to throw out Machado. But you really cannot fault Machado for taking off.
No, you don't expect a backhanded pick like that.
Not at all.
See if the Tigers want to challenge this. They do not. So they're empty now with 2 outs. Caught stealing. No caught stealing, they say. 2-4. He tried to advance. Kinsler just got a piece of it to stay alive. Tigers offense last night had only 6 hits, but boy, a few of those were big ones. 3 homers. Martinez a pair. Upton homered last night.
And folks back in the Motor City ate curly fries today.
Little pop up, shallow center field. Maben's going to get there, and that'll retire the side. No runs, a walk, nobody left.
Growing up in the home I did, and I would have no other way. My mom was always so supportive and is still so supportive, and I think, like you said, as you get older, you start to appreciate more and more what that meant.
Justin Verlander with some thoughts on his mom, Kathy, and JV goes back to the mound here in the 3rd. It is a 1-1 ball game. Top of the lineup coming up. Ben Revere, Andrelton Simmons, and Mike Trout.
And Revere likes to bunt. You always have to be aware of that if you're the Tigers infielders. He's got great speed.
And he takes ball 1 inside. Castellanos is thinking that possibility exists. He's respecting that speed, and a step or 2 at 3rd. Everybody else back on Revere. There's the strike call.
And Revere jackknifing out of the way as to indicate that he thought that ball was inside.
Swing and a miss. Revere twice in his career has stolen 40 bases. He's bounced around a bit from Minnesota. 3 years with the Twins, then Philadelphia.
Former #1 draft choice, Ben Revere.
Here's the 1-2.
You don't usually see guys that are drafted #1 that their best asset is their legs. Usually you see power pitchers or big, strong, physical power hitters, but not usually guys that are very fast runners. But yeah, Revere was a #1 pick.
Yeah, it's kind of like you don't see very many #1 picks and throw, 88 with command. They want the power arms. And Revere takes strike 3. Got him looking. One gone. Time for a game break now in Matt Shepard. Well, the Indians now 19-17, and as Kipnis gets more accustomed to getting back into their lineup coming off the DL, Rod, they're going to be really good, you would think.
It's going to be a very good division all season long.
Trout sends that one in the air to center field, and it's caught there by Romine.
And there are no perfect teams in the American League Central. Everybody has their own issues. But it should be a fun year.
That was Simmons flying out to center now. Trout will step in. Yeah, the Central Division is going to be awfully competitive, I think. And got to be honest with you, I didn't think Minnesota would be competitive. I didn't think the White Sox would be competitive.
I did not either.
But there they are. Now, yes, it is only May, but still off to decent starts. Trout homered in the first inning. It was his 11th of the year. And 3rd in the series.
Yeah, since the beginning of the 2012 season, Trout now has 49 homers in the first inning. Albert Pujols is second on that list with 39.
More than half of his hits this year have been for extra bases. He leads the American League in that category. We'll go to the backstop.
Now here's the pitch-by-pitch in the first inning. Verlander used the cut fastball to try to get him out with after the first pitch breaking ball. 90 on that pitch. Another cutter at 90. That didn't do a whole lot. Mike Trout jumped all over it for his 3rd home run and his 3rd consecutive day.
Up and in. JV pitching inside there to Trout. Backed him off a little bit. 2-1. That time Trout was hit. So Verlander sticks Trout. The crowd doesn't like it.
Yeah, Verlander did not try to hit Mike Trout. You can tell by Verlander's reaction after the pitch.
It'll bring up Valbuena.
And now you have to guard against the fact that Trout, and with 2 outs, more than likely will try to get himself down in the scoring position via the steal. He's 5 of 6 on the season. It's a fastball that Verlander tried to get inside that clipped the elbow of Trout for the 2nd consecutive day, although yesterday did not look like he got hit.
Valbuena flying to left field in the first inning. Trout draws the throw. Numbers on Trout. Works the ball outside. Trout, by the way, needs 2 more stolen bases to join Alex Rodriguez as the only players to combine for 175 homers and 150 steals in their age 25 season or younger. And you kind of forget that A-Rod in his youth, man, he got to the big leagues and provided big numbers immediately.
He was a 40-40 guy one year. Trout has a chance to steal 40 bags and hit 40 homers in a season.
Swing and a miss. Trout goes. He dives into second safely.
I believe that was a delayed steal. And we'll get a look at Trout. Looked like he had a real nice secondary lead. Didn't take off right away. Yeah, but once the ball got into McCann's glove, he just kind of shuffled off and then got on his way to second base, and they couldn't get him. Take a look at Trout here. Not a traditional steal. That's a delayed steal.
I've always wondered about the delayed steal. What are the certain circumstance you would use that as opposed to a straight steal?
Well, you have Verlander has quick feet, so you can't get too big a jump, and you also have a guy behind a plate in McCann who has a great arm, and so you have to figure out another way to possibly exploit that weakness, and Mike Trout did it beautifully. A couple of hard shuffles, and because you're shuffling, the infielders, they don't take off right away to the bag because they don't see you taking off. Then all of a sudden you take off, and now you have to figure out who's going to cover the bag, and then the catcher has to figure out to throw the ball down there. So it's a good play at times.
Now Valbuena has a chance to drive in a run. 2-1 on the Angels cleanup man. Swing and a miss. Justin already with 3 strikeouts. They're playing Valbuena to pull on the infield. And outside, just missed there for JV. 3-2. Cole Calhoun waiting on deck. The 3-2. He lost it, ball 4. Hit batter and a walk with 2 outs now. Well, the Tigers Liney Fridays Party Pack is available for all Friday home games. Package includes a game ticket voucher for a 20-ounce beer starting as low as $19 while supplies last. For tickets, visit tigers.com. Night out at the ballpark. Tigers coming back home for a week. Same story in the second. The Angels got 2 on with 2 outs. They've done it again here in the third. Cole Calhoun stands in. And again they play him to pull, so the infield shifting to the right side. This threat started when Trout was hit by a pitch. Fouled away. For as dominant as JV has been over the years, this has not been a particularly good stadium for him to pitch in for whatever reason. He's 2-4 here, and his ERA is nearly 6 in this ballpark. The Angels, of course, have had some good teams that have gone to the playoffs for a stretch.
That just kind of speaks volumes to how difficult it has been to win here, because Verlander clearly has been one of the best pitchers in the game, but yet struggles in this yard.
Now Calhoun given time.
I mean, there were times when the Tigers would roll into this stadium with a Scherzer, and an Anibal Sanchez and a David Price and a Justin Verlander, and they still wouldn't win here.
Really is kind of amazing with the staffs. Not only that, but with the lineups they have rolled in here as well.
Right, great point.
But this is an Angels team that over the years has given the Tigers fits. Now, Brad before Game 1 said, I don't want to hear anything about that. I mean, from year to year, the rosters change. You don't think about that. You look forward. But the numbers were striking coming in.
It was almost like what they had to go through with Cleveland last year. You had to get off to a good start against the Tribe this season because of last year, and the same thing coming here against the Angels because of their dominance.
The 0-2. Swing and a miss. Calhoun goes down, and that is it for the threat. 4 strikeouts for Justin Verlander. We get to the 4th. It'll be Castellanos, Cabrera, Martinez. Baseball celebrates moms everywhere and continues to raise awareness for the fight against breast cancer. And so you'll see a lot of pink around the ballpark today on Mother's Day. The Tigers and Angels wrapping up this series. The pink bats that you see, by the way, Louisville Slugger will send all the proceeds to the sales of those pink bats that'll be auctioned off to the Susan G. Komen Fund. Now here is Castellanos, who will get things started back in the 4th. Nick back in the 1st had a single to drive in a run. The only Tigers run so far. 22 RBIs for Nick. He went around, said first base umpire Mike Winters. Nicholas, little silent protest as he steps out. How many balls has he hit like to the warning track in right field in this series?
A couple last night.
Pretty close. Strike on the outer edge.
Talking to Lloyd McClendon today in the batting cage where he was working with some of the Tigers hitters. He said his offense is about ready to start clicking. He feels like they really haven't gotten it going yet. They now have J.D. Martinez back. He talked about Miggy missing a home run last night. J.D. missing a couple of times on a possible home run last night.
Well, Buena handles that one, and Castellanos is up. We'll bring up Cabrera, and it brings us to Chevrolet's most dependable player. Highest batting average since the 2016 All-Star break in road games, and you'll find this guy at the top. Miggy struck out in the first inning. And dives in for a strike, 0-1.
That's the same pitch that Meyer was able to finish Miggy off with his first time up in the first inning.
Martinez will be next. Tigers since the first have had only one base runner, a walk to Machado.
And we told you that Meyer, since coming to the major leagues, has had a difficult time repeating his delivery. So therefore, they have given him that real simple delivery we see a lot of starting pitchers with nowadays, where everything kind of stays in compact. Glove doesn't move, head doesn't move, and hoping he can throw more strikes.
You know, Meyer did something out of high school that really is kind of hard to believe. He was selected originally by the Boston Red Sox, and they offered him better than $2 million to sign.
Wow.
He did not. He went to Kentucky to play college ball.
His parents must have had some paper.
Paper of the green variety, I assume.
Yeah, he don't turn down $2 million unless mom and daddy got some loot.
2 gone. Time for a game break now. Here's Matt Shepard.
Shep got some loot.
Attaboy, Shep. Thanks very much. Those Blue Jays starting to put it together now. We
Yes,
figured
they are.
would.
Yes, they are. 8 of 10.
Three strikeouts on the afternoon for Meyer. Victor Martinez, a fly ball to right field.
Not a lot of hard contact against Meyer. Yeah, the first 2 hitters of the game for the Tigers, the double by Kinsler, single by Castellanos. The only 2 balls hit hard this afternoon so far.
Ten hits on the road trip for Victor, right now enjoying a 7-game hitting streak. One and 2 on Victor.
Meyer doing a much better job today against the Tigers at throwing strikes after walking 5 in his last outing, and control being his issue since coming to the big leagues.
They'll get back out of play. Hey, stay tuned to Tigers Live. Following the game, we'll select the Fox Sports Detroit Tigers player of the game, presented by McDonald's. Stop by for your breakfast favorites, now being served all day. 1 and 2 on Victor Martinez. Both teams got a run in the first, and that has been it. Just off the inside part of the plate, both the catcher Gratterall and Meyer were walking back to the dugout.
Yeah, Meyer stands 6'9" with those long legs. He took 2 steps. He was halfway to the dugout.
Huh. Pretty close. That's why. Swing and a miss, and down goes Victor. It'll be 4 strikeouts now for Meyer.
Mom, happy Mother's Day. Thank you so much for everything you've done for me and my sisters. We wouldn't be the people we are today without you, and you know, this is a very special day for all of us, especially for you. So happy Mother's Day.
Mom, I want to say happy Mother's Day. I love you more than anything in the world.
Happy Mother's Day, Mom. I love you.
Happy Mother's Day from the Big A in Anaheim. A lot of the Tigers sending their love along the way as we go to the fourth inning. The bottom part, C.J. Cron flies out, one gone.
A lot of the players, obviously, that have been in the sport for a number of years don't get a chance to spend Mother's Day with their moms because their moms are probably at home, and obviously the players are playing games. Other than Romine, he gets a chance to spend Mom's Day with his mother. He lives here.
Yeah, the Romine's from Southern California. Andrew lives in Lake Forest, not too far from here. So
I've also seen a few families at the hotel here, some guys that are from California. So there's some other guys that are able to spend Mother's Day with their mother as well today.
There's a strike call.
I told you in the open today, I'm going to get a chance to see my mother today a little bit later on for the first time since I've been in pro ball on Mother's Day. I've worked every year on this day in some capacity.
Maben with a walk and a stolen base in this ball game. That is the one downside of pro sports, especially baseball, Rod, because of all of the holidays you get in the summertime, whether it's Father's Day or Mother's Day. You don't get a chance to spend time.
Miss a lot. We're always on, entertaining on holidays. Labor Day, Memorial Day, Father's Day, 4th of July.
Yeah, I forgot about those. Those are big ones too. Meanwhile, Verlander has been able to kind of bob and weave his way through the lineup here. He walked a couple in the second, hit a batter, walked a man in the third. The Trout home run remains their only run. It'll dart low and away.
And Verlander is up to 63 pitches. He can go up to 110 today. Need be.
There's his ratio.
And 38 strikes, 25 balls of the total 63 pitches thrown.
He went fishing. Maben out of there. 5 strikeouts now for JV. Tigers host the Rangers this Saturday, May 20th at 7:15. Former Tigers catcher Pudge Rodriguez. He's going to take part in the pregame Q&A session at 5:45 in the Big Cat Court. It's part of the Alumni Saturdays. For tickets, visit tigers.com or call 866-66-TIGER. 2 away now for Danny Espinosa. Popped up a bunt, and it's going to go foul. You were talking about Espinosa doing that when he was over 36 last night.
I sure was. What took him so long?
Well, he had a double to snap that long hitless streak in last night's game.
If you're a guy that can run, there's absolutely no reason to go 0 for 36. Especially if you have the defense that relaxes a little bit, as Castellanos was relaxing earlier in the series. He was basically giving Espinosa free reign at a bunt down the third base line last night.
Swinging a drive. Deep right field, way back and gone.
That's what they've been waiting on from Espinosa.
4th home run of the year for Espinosa, and the Angels take the lead.
He's got some pop in his bat. He's not real big in stature, but playing for the Washington Nationals for the last 4 or 5 years, Espinosa hit a lot of home runs.
Well, that was a no-doubter.
Oh, as soon as it left his bat, you knew it was gone. It had that sound.
Way beyond that tall wall in right. Here's a high drive to center off the bat of Gratterall. And caught there by Romine to end the inning. However, the Angels take the lead on the Espinosa home run. Baseball on Fox Sports Detroit is brought to you by the Sam Bernstein Law Firm, official legal services sponsor of Fox Sports Detroit. Bell Tire, for tires and auto service, everybody needs a Bell Tire guy. And by Chevrolet, the most awarded car company 3 years in a row. Back here in Southern California, we're in Anaheim today, wrapping up this road trip. And also this 4-game series against the Halos. Justin Upton leads it off. It'll be Upton, J.D. Martinez, and then James McCann. The Angels have taken the lead on the Espinosa homer.
And Meyer 7 of 15 in first pitch strikes, for those of you wondering, and which is not horrible. And even when he's fallen behind, he's been able to get back in the count with a mixture of breaking balls and mid-90s fastballs.
2-0 on Upton.
Yeah, predictable fastball count here for Justin Upton. Now, whether Meyer throws him one or not remains to be seen.
Little pop-up back is short. And it's going to be run down on the move by Simmons. One gone. J.D. Martinez. 6-3 ground out his first time, but he hit a bullet to Simmons. It bounced off his chest. Simmons able to make the play and throw him out. I know J.D. had a lot of at-bats in extended spring and in the minor leagues as well, but still, for him to come up here against big league pitching his first couple of games back and just tear it up is kind of shows what kind of hitter he is.
He's really matured. He has shown Tigers fans that he is a bona fide and power hitter the last 3 years.
That is a foul ball.
I mean, that's a really good fastball there thrown by Meyer at 96 that he was able to turn on. But let's take a look at him in last night's contest. First time up, second inning, and he got himself a ball over the heart of the plate, played long ball to left field. That was over the Tigers bullpen. And then seventh inning or later, this was a ninth inning. 36 times he has done something special in these particular situations, hitting the ball in the ballpark since he's been a Tiger, and did it again last night.
Well, we marvel at his power, but Martinez as a Tiger is a career .299 hitter overall. He had .307 last year, so he's more than just power. 1-2 the count. Would not chase. 2-2 on JD. Again, he stayed away, and Meyer has gotten Cabrera to go after that pitch a couple of times today, but JD wouldn't bite.
Yeah, so far JD's done a nice job of laying off the breaking ball. And according to Fox Tracks, the only pitch that Meyer has thrown inside to, and JD was that two-seam fastball that he hit down the third baseline foul.
And he walked it, ball 4. 1 out, base runner. Fans, it's your last chance. Don't miss out on the LPGA Volvic Championship play with the Pro Sweepstakes. Today's the last day you can enter to win, and that's a chance to attend the pairings party and play 18 holes of golf alongside LPGA professionals at Travis Point Country Club on May the 24th. FoxSportsDetroit.com has more information if you want to enter. 1 on, 1 out here in the 5th, and now James McCann will stand in. Tigers trail 2-1. Strike called on McCann. He struck out back in the 2nd. Meyer was a highly regarded high school player, was an Aflac All-American. In fact, he was ranked the number 5 high school player by Baseball America the year he came out. A little bit low and away. 1 ball, 1 strike. Six feet 9 inches tall, 225 out of Greensburg, Indiana. He had retired 11 of the last 12 prior to that walk to Martinez. Ground ball toward third, foul ball, diving try there by Valbuena. One and two on McCann. McCann this year has 15 hits, and 8 of those are for extra bases, including 7 homers. Meyer wanted that one, didn't get it.
And Meyer, for the most part, continues to throw every single one of these right-handed batters away. Have not gone inside very often today.
Swing and a miss. So McCann strikes out for the 2nd time in this game. 5 of them now for Meyer. We're at Angel Stadium here in Anaheim on a gorgeous Mother's Day afternoon. Glad you're able to join us today. Mario and Pemba, Rod Allen, John Keating with you. And Chris Wazalewski is our producer. Michael Odino, our director from the West Coast today. We're going to be jetting back home after this one. Off day tomorrow, and then the Tigers are back home against the Orioles on Tuesday. Here's Romine. Andrew a flyout back in the 3rd. Tigers have a couple of guys where the splits have been much better at home. Romine is one of them. 375 at Comerica Park this year. Just 151 on the road. But Andrew had that good series in Oakland to start this road trip when Kinsler was on the DL, not on the DL, but was out with a bad hamstring.
And most of that damage for Romine was done in the leadoff spot.
Swing and a miss. 0-2. Machado waiting on deck. JV waiting to get back out there. He has surrendered 2 homers in this game. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. Romine retired, and 6 strikeouts for Meyer. No runs, a walk, and 1 left. Tigers baseball presented by Bell Tire. Bottom of the 5th inning, I should say. Mario and Pemba Rod Island, glad to have you with us here on Mother's Day. And once again, I want to pass along our Mother's Day hellos to our moms.
Absolutely. I'm going to get a chance to see my mom a little later on today. I can't wait to take my mom to dinner a little bit later today.
All right, Mom Rose and wife Kathy, for me, happy Mother's Day from the Big A. We'll be home soon, believe me. It's been a long road trip with the Tigers. Certainly we'll be glad to get back home. JV is going back to the hill. And Verlander. And the Tigers down 2-1. It's Ben Revere leading it off. There's a ball outside, and the count goes to 1 ball and 1 strike. Revere, then Simmons and Trout. Ground out strikeout in this ball game for Revere. In there, a strike call. Revere didn't like that call. JV surrendering home runs to Trout and Espinosa. Each ball club with 2 hits. That is it. And a ball inside that buckled him out of the way. Now JV ready. Here's the 2-2. Ground ball to first, right there, Cabrera, and he will handle it for the out. 0 for 3 now for Revere. We check in with John Keating.
Albert Pujols not in the Angels lineup today. That's to the great delight of Brad Ausmus, who told him, I wish you well in getting to 600 home runs. I just don't want to see it this weekend, and he won't. But there is the story of Ausmus and Pujols going way back in the 2005 National League Championship Series. Pujols hit a titanic shot off then Astros closer Brad Lidge, and on the Astros team flight, Ausmus had the pilot announce to the team over the loudspeaker of the plane, if you look to the left of the airplane, you'll see Albert Pujols' ball still traveling. Well, it loosened up the Astros. They went on to advance to the World Series. Unfortunately, they lost to the Chicago White Sox there. So Ausmus and Pujols go way back. They were delighted to see each other here, guys.
That was one of the best stories that Brad has told. He's told that story a couple of times. It is amazing what the simple things can do, kind of to break up the tension and help a team out.
I remember that home run that Pujols hit against Brad Lidge, and I believe he hit that thing out of Minute Maid Park, out of the whole park.
The whole park, yeah.
He killed it.
117 miles per hour that thing left his bat.
Oh, really?
It was keeping charting in, huh?
117. There's a drive in the air to left, but up and coming out. Simmons out of there. Justin now at 75. We'll bring out Mike Trout. Trout has been on base twice in this ball game. Homer hit by a pitch, a steal, and a run scored.
Dynamic offensive player, and probably the, well, yeah, and probably the best all-around offensive player. And there's a lot of good ones in the big leagues. You think Trout spends his entire career with the Angels?
Good question. I don't know, with the way baseball is today and the changing economics of the game, hard to tell. I mean, I think he would like to stay here. I think all players want to stay with the organization that eventually drafts them and brings them up and gets them to the big leagues. I think Angels fans hope so.
And Derek Jeter will be honored tonight in the Bronx. They will retire his number 2, in a ceremony. Dying breed, Derek Jeter's, guys that have spent their entire careers with one team. Cal Ripkins, Tony Gwynn, Robin Yount of the world.
Check swing high. 3-0 on Trout.
And nowadays you got guys like Kershaw. You've got, we mentioned Trout. You've got Manny Machado. You've got Bryce Harper. I mean, you have some players that you would think would never change uniforms.
Well, Bryce Harper, they just signed him for 1 more year, but free agency is looming for him. And that's going to be interesting. I think a lot of it just depends on circumstance and how much a club can afford. There's a ball outside. Trout is out for the 3rd time today. 2-out walk. Well, you mentioned Bryce Harper. He is the showstopper. Walk-off last night. Man, does he have a flair for the dramatic?
He's been killing the baseball this year. He's healthy again and looks like he wants to win another MVP if Ryan Zimmerman, his teammate, ever slows down.
Yeah, because he's having a great year, Zimmerman, as well. Here's Valbuena. What was your impression on Harper when he came up? Because when he was an amateur, and I know you've seen him play, but he had that little hitch of a swing, or that hitch in his swing, and I always wondered if that would play in the big leagues. Answer is yes.
I mean, I saw him play junior college ball when he was only 16 years old because he skipped his final 2 years of high school. He got his GED, and he was playing junior college baseball in Las Vegas. So he was playing with a bunch of kids that were already 19, 20 years old, and he dominated the league. He was a Golden Spikes Award winner playing 1 year at junior college at 16 years old. And these are the best players in the country at all the universities. It's amazing how talented this kid is. I mean, when's the last time you heard of somebody leaving high school 2 years before because they were bored with playing baseball with their teammates?
Well, that would be never until Harper. 1 ball and 1 strike on Valbuena.
Valbuena's been swinging a dangerous bat for them this year. You got to be careful with him.
Runner goes, swing and a miss, throw down to second. It's going to be not in time.
Angel's not afraid to run, even though McCann has one of your better throwing arms of any of the catchers in the American League. That is quite a few bags they've already stolen in the series. And Mike Trout just shows you just how dynamic of an offensive player he can be. He starts his slide really early. And when you have the kind of running ability that Mike Trout has, you have to start your slide early, because nowadays, guys, if you slide too late, your momentum will carry you off the bag. And nowadays, the defenders are taught to keep that glove on you.
Swing and a foul tip into the glove for strike 3, so nothing comes of the stolen base. Valbuena punched out of there. 5 in the books from the Big A.
That had a mom that was instrumental in their life. I think, you know, Mother's Day obviously allows you to reflect on what she did for you in your life, especially at a young age. She was just always so supportive. She's like a saint. You know, she just never really gets frazzled, never upset. You know, always supportive and very low key. And my dad was kind of the opposite of that, where, you know, pretty intense and on top of everything. So it was a good balance. And you know, Mother's Day, especially in baseball, when you're wearing pink and stuff, allows you to reflect on what your mom did for you.
And the thoughts of Ian Kinsler on his mom, Kathy, as we spend Mother's Day with you from Anaheim in a 2-1 ball game. The Angels on top of the Tigers here. Meyer back to the plate, throws a strike to Dixon Machado, who leads things off here in the 6th.
On paper, coming into this contest, huge mismatch. And for Justin Verlander going up against Alex Meyer here this afternoon. But they say Meyer has pitched better today than anybody has ever seen him pitch. And we say that a lot about guys that come in struggling, and all of a sudden they have really good numbers on that day against our bats. But he's thrown the ball well. He's gotten up to 98. He's not walking nearly as many as he always has. And he's been a problem for the Tigers' right-handed bats today.
He's retired 13 of 15. There's a chopper up the middle. Simmons, long run to get it. Quick throw. And Machado is out.
And Simmons shows some of his athleticism, ranging far to his left to make that play. Here's our Comerica Bank game summary. Tigers got on the board first. Ian Kinsler batting .314 on Mother's Day in his career, driven in by Nicholas Castellanos, who doubled to lead off the game. And then the Angels got on the board. Mike Trout homered for the third consecutive day. That's the third time in his career he's homered in 3 consecutive days. And then another home run off the bat of Danny Espinosa to give them a 2-1 lead in this contest.
Kinsler batting now with 1 out.
But no one was expecting this kind of outing out of Alex Meyer. This is why they're high on him. On occasion, he can go out and do this.
6 strikeouts. Gave up the back-to-back hits to start the game. They scored a run, did the Tigers, and that's been it. Here's a Bender that catches the outside corner. Meyer was a part of that 2011 draft, which was packed with starting pitching. Guys like Garrett Cole, Trevor Bauer, Dylan Bundy, Michael Fulmer. Jose Fernandez was in that draft as well, so it was loaded.
A lot of young power arms you just mentioned.
And Kinsler could not hold up. Ian with a double and a fly ball in this game. We've had only 4 hits. Verlander and Meyer have combined to go up just 2 each.
Yeah. Old-fashioned pitching duel.
Two and 2 on Ian Kinsler. Castellanos on deck. I guess it's no surprise, Rob. You see a guy that stands 6'9", and he's employed that David Price type of delivery to the plate.
Yeah, it's tough for guys that have large frames to really repeat their delivery, so they simplify it for him. Just a little step back. The glove really never moves from the area that it starts in. The head never moves, and that gives them much more concentration to throw better strikes, and Meyer has done that all afternoon long.
Lazy fly ball to right field for Cole Calhoun. 2 gone. MLB.com at bat is the #1 mobile app for live Tigers baseball. Stay connected with a fully customizable experience. Get Tigers home screen icons and app features, as well as game day, live game video highlights, radio broadcast, and more. MLB.com at bat. Get it today. 2 away for Castellanos. Dots the outside corner. 0-1. Fouled away. 0-2 on Nick. Minor leagues or major leagues, the most pitches that Meyer has thrown in a start this year is 93.
He's going to go past that today.
Sure looks like it.
I mean, really no stress whatsoever in any of the innings today for Meyer. 17 the most pitches that he has thrown in any one inning.
Nick had the single. That was in the first inning, driving Kinsler, and that's all the Tigers have been able to muster today. Aside from the 2 hits to start the game, they've gotten a couple of walks.
And Meyer came in 41 career big league innings. 41 career big league innings. He had walked 32 batters.
We have not seen a whole lot of that today. The 1-2.
And it's funny because that's a scouting report that Lloyd McClendon gave to his guys at the beginning of the game. Be patient, wait him out. He's going to get wild. I mean, that's part of his MO, but it hasn't worked that way so far.
Speaking of scouting reports, I'm sure the Angels didn't expect to see as many curveballs from Daniel Norris last night.
Absolutely right.
And they got a few.
And Daniel looked good last night for 4 innings. And that 1 inning, which was the 5th, kind of taxed Daniel in last night's outing where he had to throw 29 pitches. I was talking to him this morning at the hotel, and he felt good about his game other than that 5th inning. He says, if I get through that 5th inning, I probably could have given my team 7 innings yesterday.
Here's the 2-2. And it's high and away. 3-2 now on Castellanos.
This cat still throwing hard. 97 on that last fastball by Meyer. Here's Daniel. He's real close to taking that next step to being real dominant in this game. Left-handed that can throw 95, 96 with good breaking pitches. Here's that curveball that Daniel was featuring last night. In case you didn't stay up late with us, it was a beauty of a pitch. He used it very often. He used it when he was behind. He used it when he was ahead. He was led beautifully by James McCann, and James McCann was the one calling for all the curveballs because Daniel is one that never ever shakes off his catcher.
Another foul by Castellanos. He stays alive. I wonder if that'll change as Norris gets older and more mature and more of the veteran pitchers. Do you think the guys that do shake off are the guys that have been around a while and know what kind of game they want to throw?
Yeah, I think he might emerge as a guy that on occasion, when he really has conviction about a certain pitch against a certain guy, he will probably start to shake off a little bit more. But for right now, he's just going to take all the guesswork out of it for himself and allow McCann and Avila to make the calls.
Meanwhile, Meyer, another strikeout, a 1-2-3 6th inning. 7 punch-outs for the Halos righty.
Look at our Bell entire pitch by pitch. Justin Verlander, for the most part, has pitched a very good game. He's put his team in a position to win the game. They trail by 1 run as we speak on a solo home run by Mike Trout. That was a 90-mile-per-hour cut fastball. Trout hit out of the ballpark. He also surrendered a solo shot to Danny Espinosa, their second baseman. That was a 94-mile-per-hour piece of cheese that Espinosa was able to connect on. But all in all, not a bad outing thus far by Verlander.
Cole Calhoun leads it off, then C.J. Crone and Cameron Maben.
Calhoun has been struggling this year. He's already punched out twice against Verlander. He's choking up on the bat right now, trying to find some consistency, trying to find some bat control.
In the hole now, 0-2.
And when you're struggling like Calhoun is, it just seems like when you step in the batter's box, you've already got 2 strikes on you.
2 for 12 in the series for Calhoun. Swing and a miss. Down he goes again. He is struck out for the 3rd time in this game.
Verlander gets more swings and misses on his 4-seam fastball in the mid-90s than any other right-hander in the game. That's how good a pitch it is for Verlander. Most of them are upstairs. Most guys can't lay off of it.
Seven strikeouts for JV. C.J. Cron stands in. Down the middle of strike. Cron is 0 for 2.
And Verlander has thrown 33 fastballs. 30 fastballs, excuse me, over 95 miles an hour today. I gotta admit though, man, there was a time where I was starting to think that we would not see this Verlander again a couple of years ago, and I think pretty much everybody in baseball felt that way, but he said he wasn't healthy. This guy the last couple of years has rededicated himself to strength and fitness, and man, whatever he's doing now, man, it's working.
It really is. And when players get older, you kind of feel, well, eventually and inevitably they're going to lose their velocity. That's fouled straight back. But I was with you. I thought that, man, we might have seen the last of JV getting up to 96, 97, 98. And even consistently at 95, but he's done just that.
His average fastball these days is 95. In his last couple of outings, once in Oakland and also once in Arizona, he got all the way up to 99 miles an hour. And this is a guy that's thrown more pitches than anybody in the game since he came to the big leagues.
Yeah, that's a great point. I mean, there is a lot of history on that arm. He's thrown a lot of innings, a lot of games. Broke in 05. 06 was really his first full year in the major leagues. Rookie of the year that season. Oh and 2 on C.J. Cron. Popped up. Right field line. Here comes Martinez. It's going to be Kinsler to make a nice play. 2 gone. Let's say hi again to John Keating.
Well, Mario, when there are uniform tweaks around a special day like we're having with this one, with Mother's Day, you should see the players in the clubhouse. They can't wait to see what the new uniform is going to look like. And this is what Justin Verlander is wearing. The pink shoes, and it's not just pink, it's paisley pink.
Are they
shoes.
clean now?
What do you think, Rod? What do you got
clean.
on that?
They're clean. They're clean for sure.
Kind of like them.
Yeah.
Cameron Maybin looks at a ball inside.
And guys, Brad Ausmus made mention of the fact that the shoes that he was given to wear, it's a coincidence, I'm sure, are Mike Trout signature models, and we just happen to be at Angel Stadium.
Yeah, it is coincidence to be sure, but he made that point the other day thinking, man, of all guys to have a model, it's when you play the Angels in Anaheim and it's Trout.
Well, what Brad ought to do is send those shoes over to Mike Trout, let him put his real autograph on them.
That's right. Yeah, that'd be a great idea. Brad did say they were tight. I'm not sure he's wearing them anymore. Or that could have been the excuse. Meanwhile, Maybin now has gone ahead 3-0 in the count.
Maybin has already walked one time in the game and stole second base. Verlander and cannot walk him again.
Strike called. Maybin thought he had a walk. Maybin walked, stole, and then struck out in the 4th. The walk came in the 2nd. Justin 7 strikeouts in this game. There's another strike. Maybin trying to coax that base on balls, but he's not getting it from Marty Foster.
And Verlander up to 97 pitches right now. And Verlander on the season is averaging 107 per start. Only one other pitcher in the majors averaging more pitches per start than Verlander. That would be Chris Sale of the Boston Red Sox. You see all the people he's striking out these days?
Yeah, everybody. Here's another walk. Maven is on for the second time. That's 5 walks now for JV. Time for a game break, and Matt Shepard. Well, the Royals starting to play a little bit better as they begin to climb in the Central. And the Orioles, they've gotten off to a really good start, but they've hit the skids a little bit recently.
Tigers yet to see the Kansas City Royals. They've seen every other team in their division, but they will make a stop in Kansas City on the next road trip through Houston, Chicago, and finish up in Kansas City. You're going to have to bring me back some barbecue, man. I don't make that trip.
Yeah.
You're going to have to bring me back some Gates, man. Or maybe some barbecue sauce. Just bring me back some sauce.
Anything else?
Just some sauce.
Runner goes, and that ball bouncing in, and did it hit the batter?
They're running at will today.
Yeah, they
against
are.
this combination.
I think bounced right by Espinosa. Eight steals now for Maben, and 2 in this game.
That's why Mike Scioscia, he can't wait until Maben starts to swing the bat the way that Maben was able to swing the bat last year for us. And because that's when he'll be able to put Cameron in that leadoff spot. That will make that lineup a whole lot better. You got speed at the top.
Angels have 4 stolen bases this afternoon. Brad Ausmus making a trip out to the mound
with 2 outs. And I think they're talking about the base open and what they want to do with Espinosa. Espinosa in his last couple of at-bats in the series hit the ball hard. And you have Gratterall in the on-deck circle, not known for his bat. So and we'll see what Brad does here.
Line drive home run for Espinosa in his last at bat into the seats and right.
And they're not going to put him on. He probably told Verlander, but pitch around him. We'll see.
A couple of extra base hits in the series for Espinosa. Strike called in the outside corner. Verlander now at 100. That means he's only getting warmed up. JV has gone as deep as 119 in a ball game. The 1-1 popped him up first base side. Cabrera shading his eyes. Kinsler can't see it, so Miggy gonna have to make the play, and that'll end the inning. No runs, a walk, and 1 man left. We go to the 7th, and the Tigers have the heart of the order coming up. Cabrera, Martinez, and then Upton. everywhere and continues to raise awareness for the fight against breast cancer. And we're at Angel Stadium today, wrapping up this road trip and this series. It's been a 4-gamer between these two. Tigers would love to win 3 out of 4. And they've got the heart of the order coming up. It'll be Cabrera, Martinez, and Upton. Miggy has struck out twice against the right-hander. Meyer goes back to work with 7 strikeouts in this game. And Cabrera sends a roller to third, deep behind the bag. Valbuena. 1 pitch, 1 out.
One of the things that Meyer has done that really no other starter has done in the series, he's crowded a lot of these guys with fastballs inside. Miguel Cabrera with fastballs inside. Justin Upton, fastballs inside as well. And with the velocity that he has, the guys aren't able to get out in front of him. He's done a really good job today against Tigers' big bats.
We've only had 4 hits in this game, 2 for each side. The only difference is the hits for the Angels are both homers. Martinez fly out, strikeout. Strike 1.
Unbelievable how Meyer is pitching today.
Yeah, he's been really impressive. I mean, the numbers coming in just were not pretty. The 0-1 pitch. That's going to float down the left field line, but foul.
But somehow, some way, the Tigers have to come back and win this game. It would be a winning road trip if they're able to do that.
Upton will be next. Now the 0-2. 1-2 on Victor. Martinez trying to extend his hitting streak. It's at 7 games right now. You see the action in the bullpen. Parker is warming up for the Angels. We saw Blake earlier in the series, way outside. And that'll bring Gratterall, the catcher, out to the mound. Still a foul, back out of play. Victor stays live. Martinez right now at 266.
Going inside again. Ooh.
Victor almost dived right into that ball.
Victor stands right on top of the dish anyway. I don't know how he was able to get out of the way of that mid-90s fastball. Meyer already stands 6 feet 9 inches, so once he strides toward home plate, it looks like he's right on top of you when he's releasing the baseball.
So Meyer now approaching 100. He's at 95. Longest outing pitch-wise of his season, majors or minor leagues. Fly ball toward the gap in left center field. Maben is on the run, and he's not going to get it. That'll bounce toward the warning track. Victor is on his way to second. He'll pull in with a double. Martinez splits the gap in left center, tying run in scoring position.
I want to go back to Upton's a couple of at-bats in the series because he's done some damage with a couple of long balls, but what they've done, Gratterall, they pitched him inside aggressively. First time up 95. Then they start him off with a breaking ball and then a fastball. Then they go right back inside with another fastball in the mid-90s. That's the way they've decided they're going to try to get Jay Up out today after basically all series throwing lots of breaking balls.
So Meyer gets him into the 7th with a double to chase him. They'll go to the bullpen. It's a Wellside Windows pitching change, and we'll be back to the Big A.
On this current road trip is the fact that Victor Martinez has just continued to beat that shift every step of the way. He has one bunt base hit this year. That's when it started for Victor. That was the homestand. And then in Oakland, he drove everything the opposite way. Didn't get a chance to play in Arizona with the exception of one pinch hit. But then here in this series, everything the opposite way by Victor Martinez. You just wonder if teams will continue to shift on Victor. Meyer has not really given up anything with 2 strikes today. Gives up a double the opposite way on a 96-mile-per-hour fastball to Victor Martinez.
So Parker is on now to face Justin Upton. Tigers have the tying run at second here in the 7th. Jay up looks at ball 1 high.
That was the 11th 2-strike count that Meyer had on Tigers bats today, and they were 0 for the first 10. So now 1 for 11 against Meyer, who pitched a very good game for them.
Parker, meanwhile, making his team-high 19th appearance. Fouled away.
And Mike Scioscia did something there, Mario, that Sparky Anderson used to do with regularity. When you have a pitcher out there like Meyer, who had been struggling, who pitched a really good game for you, you don't put them in a situation where they can lose the game. A no decision would be okay for them, but they didn't want him to lose this game, and that's why he took him out. Sparky used to do that all the time.
And Parker is the guy that comes out of the bullpen and has the ability to get a strikeout. His strikeouts per 9 is over 14 this year. Now Gratterall will come out to the mound and have a chat. Upton in the ball game today, a couple of pop-ups, but those 2 at-bats were against the starter Meyer. Outside, 2 balls, 1 strike on Upton.
They have been getting Justin out inside today with mid-90s fastballs. They showed him a fastball away that time. And we'll see if they want to try to go back inside again.
Two and 2. Angels have a lot of guys pitching at the back end of their bullpen that were non-roster invitees in spring this year.
Like a tryout camp, huh?
Well, pretty much. I mean, their closer, Bud Norris, Blake Parker, pitching here in the 7th. We saw Yusmeiro Petit. Those guys were all not roster invitees, but that's what injuries will do. Here's the 2-2, and it's fouled back out of play. JD on deck. And doubled by Martinez, only the 3rd Tigers hit. Angels only have 2. Ball 3 high.
Everything has been up in the strike zone to Justin by Parker. And all hard stuff for the most part. Yep, everything up according to Fox Tracks.
Parker now with the 3-2. And he walked him. No, he struck him out. Ooh, man, up is not going to like that. That looked low.
Everything up in the strike zone, and then Parker comes back with a mid-90s fastball at the bottom of the strike zone. And Brad Ausmus is jawing with the home plate umpire right now. Marty Foster.
It's ball 4.
That is ball 4. And Gratterall took that ball that was out of the strike zone and picked it up with the glove and put it in the strike zone and got the call from Marty Foster.
Well, see if the Tigers get a 2-out hit now.
Well, that's the reason why Socha put Parker in the game. You mentioned it. And 14 strikeouts per 9. He wanted a strikeout, and he got a strikeout.
Ball 1 high on JD.
JD's going to have to really fight to make sure he gets a good pitch to hit here with 2 outs after homering twice last night. They're not all that interested in pitching to him anyway. At least I would not be.
First base is open right now. You got McCann waiting on deck. There's a high fly ball to center field. Maben going back, still going back. He's going to go to the wall.
He almost burned him.
He almost burned him indeed. That'll end the inning. Tigers get a double, strand the tying run. Coming up, the Consumers Energy 7th inning stretch. to you by T-Mobile. Derek Jeter, the jersey retired, number 2 tonight.
All these single-digit numbers will now be retired in Yankee history. Imagine that.
Jose Bautista starting to heat up. And how about your boy Magneuris Sierra? Say it. What's his
he'd
first
be
name?
Mags. Mags. He would be Mags for me. Magneuris.
You got nothing on Maglio or Ordonez.
Magnificent.
Well, how about this road trip now? The Tigers squandered an opportunity there, but still only down by 1 run. Justin Verlander has given up 2 hits, and lo and behold, their home runs. It's been a tight ball game all day.
Yeah, Brad's going to let him go 1 more inning, hoping that the Tigers can come back and get Justin a win. This would be a great win today if they were able to do this. 3 out of 4 in a place that historically has been very difficult to win games.
Meanwhile, how about the Alex Meyer kid, man? He was pretty good today.
I mean, everything we heard about him is that the Tigers were going to score 10 runs. He was going to walk 5. He was anything but that.
Yeah.
Firm fastball at 98, usable breaking ball. I thought Gratterall, the catcher, led him beautifully with a lot of inside pitches where he really historically hasn't pitched inside. So he just pitched a very good game today, but the Tigers are still in this thing. They've just got to do it against the Angel bullpen.
Yeah, the Tigers have 6 outs remaining. Meanwhile, Justin Verlander is still out there for the Tigers. And this Saturday at 3:30, or make it 3 p.m. This Saturday at 3, former Tigers catcher and 2017 Hall of Fame inductee Pudge Rodriguez will sign autographs at the D Shop at Comerica Park. For tickets, visit tigers.com/autographs or call 313-471-2064. So JV now back to the hill as we go to the bottom of the 7th. It'll be Juan Gratterall to lead it off. First pitch right back up the middle into center field, and the Angels have their 3rd hit today.
And Tigers have double barrel action in their bullpen. They have a right-hander up, and they also have a left-hander up. And we told you that Verlander averages 107 pitches, and so far in the 2017 season.
Shane Green, the right-hander, Blaine Hardy, the left-hander. Ben Revere is standing in now, and Castellanos is on the infield grass at 3rd.
And Mike Scioscia might take the liberty here of getting the sacrifice down to get a runner in scoring position in a close game.
Runner goes instead, is popped up foul, back out of play.
How about Scioscia? Putting a hit and run on instead of the bunt. That's how Scioscia used to manage when he had guys like Revere. We told you last night that Scioscia used to have a bunch of rabbits on his team, guys that could switch hit, guys that could bunt, guys that could run, guys that stole bases, and that's the way they played the game. They played a fast game of baseball. They kept pressure on the defense.
Revere is 0 for 3, couple of ground balls to first and a strikeout. Gratterall goes again, and a ground ball, base hit to left. Gratterall is on his way to 3rd base. He is in there safely, and they execute back-to-back hit and run.
How about the head first slide by Gratterall into 3rd base? Executed beautifully. You don't see it very often. Back-to-back hit and runs. Machado going to cover the bag. Revere shoots that hole that's vacated by Machado, and nothing the Tigers could do. And look at Gratterall. He did that for his dugout.
Belly flop. Now Andrelton Simmons will stand in. That is 4 hits on the board for the Angels. Hit and run on 2 straight pitches, and the second one worked. Verlander throwing to 3rd.
Verlander has a total of 15 swings and misses in the 104 pitches he's thrown so far today. He's going to need a few more swings and misses in this particular inning if he's going to get out of this inning without giving up a run. He has the ability to do it.
Not too many hits in that Angels box score, and the same for both sides, really. This time he picks at first.
The Angels have been running at will so far here today. They've already stolen 3 bases, and Ben Revere does not have one of those, and he's probably their best base stealer.
One ball, no strikes. Simmons has hit the ball in the air twice in this game, one to center, one to left. He's also bounced out. Revere draws another throw. Angels were 0 for 16 and 2 strike counts against Michael Fulmer in his last start. Here's the 1-0 and a bouncing ball right side. Kinsler can't get it into right field. A run will score. Revere goes to third. And now the Angels lead 3-1.
Yeah, Brad's probably going to have to go get him now. And Verlander already up to 106 pitches. It will probably take too much out of him to try to allow him to pitch out of this jam. So he's going to need some help.
That's going to be it. Three straight hits for the Angels here in the 7th. And Justin will depart. It's going to be a wall side windows pitching change with Mike Trout due up. Shane Green coming in. We'll be back. Runners at first and third and nobody out, so more trouble here for the Tigers, and they've gone to the bullpen now. Shane Green coming in.
Well, Shane Green has a very tall task here to get back in the dugout with his team only trailing by a couple of runs, with runners being on first and third and nobody out.
Mike Trout coming up. The numbers on Shane Green.
And good earned run average for Greeny. And 1.76, 17 strikeouts. He's walked 9. Yeah, this is the 16th game that Shane has been in. Mike Trout homered against Green in last night's contest.
And he homered against Verlander in today's contest, on base 3 times. Homer hit by pitch, walk. And 2 steals, infield in. And Trout looks at a ball inside. Revere at third, Simmons at first. Fouled away. 1-1 on Trout, the American League Player of the Month in the month of April. Trout has 43 hits this year, 23 of them for extra bases.
His slugging percentage and on base percentage simply off the chain. And for the reigning MVP,
he's taken Green deep twice in his career. Ooh, a little bit high. Looked like Foster wanted to go up with the right hand. 2-1 on Mike Trout.
Mike Trout has homered in 3 consecutive games. That's the 3rd time in his career. He has had a stretch of where he has homered 3 times in a game. He did it in 13, he did it in 2016, and he has done it here in the first 3 games of this series. The Tigers were able to keep him quiet for the most part the last couple of years, but he's starting to bust out here late in this series.
Swing and a miss.
Good pitch. Good breaking ball.
2-2 on Trout.
Now you have to keep in mind, though, that Trout is a good breaking ball hitter. He loves the ball down in the strike zone. You might want to climb the ladder here with your next pitch to try to get the swing and miss. If you throw a breaking ball, you have to get it down, and then you run the risk of it getting past James McCann if you bounce it.
In the air toward left field on a line. Upton comes on, makes the catch, runner tags, and Giup will hold the baseball. The run will score. A sacrifice line drive for Trout. Score Revere. 4-1 Angels. Bring Brad out again with Valbuena due up. Trout now with 2 RBIs today. So Blaine Hardy's going to come in to face Luis Valbuena. And it's another wall side windows pitching change.
Do for me. I love you.
Mom, I love you. Thank you for all you've done for me in just the baseball world, but in life in general. So I wish you could be there, but I love you from back home, and I can't wait to see you soon.
I think everything I do, everything I am right now, is because everything she teach me. So I'm very proud. I always say thank Ma for everything you teach me, and I love you.
Some happy Mother's Day wishes from our Tigers, including Miguel Cabrera, Michael Fulmer there, James McCann.
Miguel Cabrera said his mom taught him how to play baseball. She was a Venezuelan softball player, and a very good one. And Mickey said she taught him how to play the game of baseball.
Mickey's mom, Gregoria. Well, here are the numbers on Blaine Hardy. Valbuena is over 2 with a walk. 2 runs in here in the 7th for the Angels. Simmons draws another throw.
And the way the Angels have played today is reminiscent of the way they used to play. And 4, 5, 6 years ago, when they had a lot of speed, they would run, they would go first to third as well as anybody in baseball. They've done that today. They've put a lot of pressure on the Tigers defense. They've had 2 or 3 steals, safety steal, delayed steal, I should say.
Well, the key hit in this inning was the hit-and-run single by Revere.
That was on back-to-back pitches with the catcher taking off at first base. An unlikely combination.
Ground ball right to Mickey, tags the bag 1, throws to second, and they'll do the tag play for the double play. So Hardy comes on, gets the twin killing. And the Angels settle for 2. Tigers baseball presented by Bell Tire. Detroit is brought to you by Comerica Bank, a part of Detroit and the community since 1849. Your Metro Detroit Chevy dealers. Visit ChevyDetroit.com. See why Chevy drives to Motor City. And by Wallside Windows, we can do that. We are the factory. Back here in Anaheim, California, wrapping up this West Coast swing. Final game in this 4-game series. And the Angels have taken a bigger lead now, 4-1. Another Wallside Windows pitching change. David Hernandez is in.
And we've seen him in the series already. Hernandez having a really good year. The numbers not bad at all. His 0.96 earned run average, 3 holds in the 10 games he's been in.
Hernandez pitched in game 2 in this series and had a 1-2-3/8. That was the 7-0 Angels win. First one is up high to James McCann. Bottom 3 coming up for the Tigers. McCann, Romine, Machado due up. 4 runs, 5 hits for the Angels. 1 run, 3 hits for the Tigers, and a swing and a miss. McCann punched out twice against the starter Meyer. Popped him up. Right field, battling the sun. Calhoun really struggling out there. 1 gone. Center fielder, number 17. Bring up Andrew Romine. Romine a flyout and a strikeout in this game, 0 for 2. Went around, strike one.
And Andrew looking for a first pitch fastball from Hernandez. Hernandez and threw him a breaking ball, and Andrew couldn't hold up on it.
3 Tigers hits. Kinsler double, Victor double, Castellanos RBI single. Now the 1-1. Broke foul. Look out. One and 2 on Romine. Off the inside part of the plate. Hernandez began his career with Baltimore, pitched in Arizona for a couple of years, Philadelphia in the 2016 campaign. 70 appearances out of the bullpen for the Phillies last year. And look out, he is hit by the pitch. Romine will take first base. Well, the Tigers have a base runner here with 1 out.
Shortstop, number 49, Dixon Machado.
Right off the left knee of Andrew Romine.
He's going to bring up Machado. And Dixon looks at a strike, 0-1.
And Brad has a couple of left-handers on his bench. And he has Tyler Collins on the bench, also Alex Avila on the bench. Should he want to pinch hit, but obviously not wanting to pinch hit.
Really, the rest of the way here, when you look at guys that are candidates, this guy right here, Machado would be, but top of the order lurking.
Right.
1-1 on Dixon. There's a base hit to right field.
Take
He goes
that,
the other
Rod.
way. And a single for Dixon Machado, and now 2 on, 1 out. Dixon on base for the second time in this game.
Second baseman, number 3, Ian Kinsler.
Nice at bat by Machado. And Espinosa was playing double play depth over toward the second base bag, and Machado able to sneak one through there.
Here is Kinsler, double and 2 fly balls. The Tigers bottom of the lineup getting on base here. Romine hit by a pitch. Machado is single. And a strike on the outer edge. Miz wants to do baseball.
And Tigers can get right back in this thing with one big swing of the bat, and they've got the guys coming up that can do that.
Here's the 0-1. Bouncing ball to short. Simmons to second, 1 relay. That's a double play. And that'll take care of the Tigers and their threat here in the 8th. 6-4-3.
The 6'9" Alex Meyer started against the Tigers and really handcuffed them all day long with a mixture of outstanding breaking balls anywhere from 80 to 85, a fastball that touched 98 miles an hour. The Tigers could do nothing with him this afternoon. You have to give their catcher some credit as well. Juan Gratterall, he caught a gem today. 3 hits surrendered by Meyer, 7 strikeouts, the best start of his major league career.
So here come the Angels now as we go to the bottom of the 8th. They lead 4-1. Blaine Hardy goes back to work and is popped up foul. Back behind the dish, McCann has room. 1 gone. Hardy came in, threw a pitch, got a double play in the 7th, and now 1 pitch, 1 out here in the 8th. Here comes Brad. C.J. Cron due up. Looks like Brad wants to go back to the bullpen.
Frankie.
And the signal has been made now, so the Tigers indeed will go to the bullpen. And Francisco Rodriguez, the former Angel, will come in. We'll be back. Windows off day tomorrow, and then the Orioles are coming to town, and here's how they line them up.
And Wade Miley having a good year. And 2.45 ERA. Dylan Bundy also pitching very good baseball. Ubaldo not so much. Matthew Boyd, Fulmer, and Zimmerman will counter those 3 in the upcoming 3-game series, which starts on Tuesday.
Francisco Rodriguez out of the Tigers bullpen now. 1 out, nobody on in the 8th. C.J. Cron steps in there. And a Bender missing outside, 1-0.
Second time we've seen Rodriguez since he's lost his closer's role, and did okay here a couple of nights ago pitching against his former team, the Angels, the team that he broke into the big leagues with.
There's the strike call. Cron in this game is 0 for 3. K-Rod broke in 2002, the year the Angels won the World Series. It was really good in the postseason for them. Good pitch on the outer edge. Numbers on K-Rod in his Angels days. And as many as 62 saves here one year.
208 total. With the 2.35 career ERA as an Angel.
They bust him inside. 2-2 on Cron.
It's a nice call there by McCann and a nice pitch by Rodriguez. On the previous pitch, Cron took a fastball right down the middle of the plate. That told both McCann and Rodriguez that he was sitting on the changeup. So they came back with another fastball and nearly struck him out looking.
Three-time Frankie led the league in saves as a member of the Angels. 05-06 in that 62 season save season in 2008. Big numbers in this ballpark. Four to 1, Angels lead. We're on the bottom of the 8th. And again, the 2-2 to C.J. Cron. Got him, strike 3. Cron is caught looking. 2 outs.
Number 9,
Pretty good pitch. Change up at 82.
Cameron Maybin. 2 walks, 2 steals. Trout has also stolen 2 bases today. Throws it there, strike 1. Not a lot of luck. 0 for 4 career against Francisco. One and 2. JV won 6 plus 3 batters in this game. Then Green, then Hardy, and now K-Rod. Low and away. David has been held hitless in the series, but he does have 3 walks. Way outside, 3 and 2. That is a 2-out walk as Maybin walks for the 3rd time in this game. So Danny Espinosa will get a chance. Tigers pitching today, Ron, with 6 walks.
Too many.
It really is.
Especially to a team that, for the most part, struggling from an offensive standpoint. I mean, 3 of those walks to Cam Maybin. Cam not hitting 200 right now. And you put yourself in a situation where he's going to steal himself another base.
There he goes. Here's the throw. It's going to be tardy.
He can't beat you with his bat right now, but he is definitely beating the Tigers with his legs today.
3rd swipe for Maybin. That is 5 stolen bases for the Angels today.
And Maybin with 3 today. That ties a career high for him. The last time he did it was back in 2011.
So now Espinosa has a chance to drive in a run. He homered against Verlander back in the 4th, gave him a 2-1 lead at that point. Swing and a miss. 1 ball and 1 strike on Espinosa. Infield playing to pull on the left-handed batter. Popped up foul, back out of play. 1-2.
Espinosa connected for his 4th home run of the season back in the 4th inning. It was a 94-mile-per-hour fastball that he turned on. That was for the 2nd run of the game, and the 2nd home run Justin had given up today. Justin had gone 4 consecutive starts without giving up a homer before the Trout Espinosa homers this afternoon.
Frankie trying to shut down this 8th inning. And now Espinosa will step off. Looks like K-Rod has a little bit more velocity on that fastball today.
90, 91, I think he's touched with that fastball. He's thrown more fastballs today than he has recently when he was struggling, so maybe that's a point of emphasis. And between he and Rich Doobie, the pitching coach, reestablished the fastball.
Fouled away again.
Last time the Tigers allowed 5 stolen bases in a game, you have to go all the way back to July 5th of 2012 against the Minnesota Twins.
Wow.
Quite a while. And you would not expect that with James McCann behind the plate, but the pitcher also has to give you a chance to throw. And James McCann, quite frankly, I cannot think of any of the steals today where he really had time to throw.
No, he really hasn't. Here's the 1-2. This one again sailing back toward the seats. That's why catchers caught stealing numbers are just sometimes very arbitrary, because there are times when you have no opportunity at all.
And in the 3 steals today by Trout, and one of which was a delayed steal, he had no shot. And of course the 3 by Cam Maben. I think on 2 steals today he even threw the ball to second base.
Right. Maben edging off the bag at second. Rolled foul just outside of the bag at first. Frankie now is up to 18 pitches, and he'll get a visit now from McCann.
Meanwhile, Justin Wilson, and while Frankie gets himself together, has looked very good in the closer's role. Last night, high energy save situation for Justin Wilson, no problem. He looked outstanding.
He struck out 3 guys and made it look easy.
Made it look as easy as he has been making it look when he was pitching the 7th and the 8th inning for the Tigers.
Swing and a miss, and he's out of there to end the inning. A couple of strikeouts for Francisco Rodriguez. We go to the 9th here at the Big A. And the Tigers have Castellanos, Cabrera, and Martinez. It is 4-1 as we go to the 9th inning. Last call for the Tigers.
Well, they've got the right guys coming up against their closer, Bud Norris.
It's going to be Castellanos, Cabrera, Martinez, 2, 3, and 4 facing Norris. He came on in the 9th inning last night to tie game, surrendered the home run to J.D. Martinez. First one home is up high to Castellanos.
Yeah, that's what managers like to do. When the closer has had a rough night the previous evening, they like to get him right back out there the next day, and that's the case right now with Norris. And trying to shut down the middle of the order Tiger bats.
Nick had an RBI single in the first. There's a strike called 1-1.
And Miggy in the on-deck circle is bound to do something. He's had a slow series, and by Miggy's standards, they've really handcuffed the big fella all series long. And coming into play today, Miggy hitting a cool 340 on Mother's Day, so he's got to do something.
Yeah. Here's the 1-1. Nick swings and sends a grounder to third. And Valbuena throws him out, one away.
Valbuena's been somewhat busy today. Left side of their infield, lots of ground balls.
First baseman, number 24, Miguel Cabrera.
So here is Cabrera. 0 for 3 today and 2 for 16 in this 4-game series. Miggy 2 strikeouts and a ground out. All 3 of those at bats against the starter Meyer. Norris in there for strike 1. Former starter with the Houston Astros and Baltimore Orioles. Bud Norris.
Norris has always had good stuff. 94 to 97 with his fastball, with a couple different breaking balls and a changeup as a starter.
And there was a time when Norris's name constantly came up at the trading deadline for teams looking for help in their rotation.
Yeah.
Norris had a 15-win season with the Orioles in 2014. Oh, 0-2 on Cabrera. Rolled foul. 4 runs on 5 hits for the Angels today. Tigers are on 4 hits. Norris replacing Hernandez. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. That is 3 punch-outs today for Miggy.
Designated hitter, number 41, Victor.
2 away. It's going to be up to Victor Martinez. You know, at the start of this ball game, the Tigers got a double from Kinsler, a single by Castellanos, and it looked like they might roll with the bats today.
Especially going up against Meyer. Alex Meyer, who started for the Angels. The scouting report on him was not good coming in. He had walked a lot of batters. He had thrown a lot of pitches every single inning. But today he pitched the best game of his life.
Victor fouls it off 0-1.
And Victor wasn't trying to beat the shift with that swing right there.
Not a lot of base runners today for the Tigers. Martinez had a double with 1 out of the 7th, and at that point it was still a 2-1 game, but they couldn't cash him in.
Yeah, that was the last pitch that Alex Meyer threw.
It's funny, you look at certain at-bats that can change the game. They couldn't score after the 1-out double, and then in the 8th inning they had 2 on 1 out, but a double play helped out Hernandez. 2 real big at-bats late in this game. Bemart swings and misses. Norris 1 strike away. Here comes the crowd, sensing victory. We'll see if Victor can keep it going. Just got a piece of it to stay alive.
That's a nice spoil there by Victor on a 96-mile-per-hour heater. And thrown by Bud Norris.
Two out, nobody on in the ninth. Again, Norris with the 1-2. Grounded foul outside of the bag. Fouled away. Victor doing what he does, man. He just battles and battles and battles.
He's a tough out. He gives you a quality at bat just about every time he steps into that batter's box from both sides.
And again, the 1-2. Popped him up. Third base side. Valbuena is under it. And the Angels will earn the split. Angels win today. Now we send you to the Call Sam Studios. Matt Shepard standing by with Tigers Live postgame.